Okay, so here we are still on our file place document, and I want to talk a little bit about the links panel. So when I click on a link here, oops, let's get that. Um, what this is bringing up is the links panel, but it's just kind of mashed in here. So I'm going to go the other way to this panel, which is to go to your window menu and go alphabetically down to links and pop this open. I'll bring it up top here so you can see it. And in here we have all of our linked graphics. So cell phone, colorful bird, guitar, Bodhi map, and palette EPS. So in the drop-down menu, we have the option of relink from CC library. So that would be if you have something in your library in the cloud, you could get it. Relink from your computer means it will go find it on the computer, especially if it's broken. A broken link, you can do that. Um, Go to link would open up the folder that the link is in. Edit original allows you to actually go and edit the original in whatever format that is in, and we will do that in a minute. Update link uh, means if you want to find, if you have edited it outside of the program, especially with a TIFF or a GIF or a JPEG, it might not auto update in here, and you can check for it to auto update. License image is not highlighted, but obviously is there. Placement options. You can preserve different things about the file when you put bounding boxes on it, proportions, fills, transforms, that kind of thing. Embed images. If I decide that I want to have this be attached to the computer file, to the AI file, instead of being linked, I can let it embed here. And you can see this option is also available down here on the quick actions. Um, and it is down here as well, I believe. We'll get to that in a moment. I'm going to undo that. Oh, you can see the little embed graphic is now, symbol is here. Undo that because I'm going to keep going here. Um, Reveal in Bridge. Bridge is another program that lets you sort through your files. So you could open the file up in Bridge if you want to, and there it would show you what folder it was in on the computer as well. Link file info. So this is all the information about this file. If it had camera data, if it had video, Photoshop stuff, it would all be in here. Let's see if on the Photoshop document if there's any information about where this came from. Basic. Nope. Nothing there. I should pull some ones off my phone maybe sometime and put that in here for a lesson so people could see that. But try it with your own stuff too if you ever want to look at that. You can show all of these. You can show which ones are missing, if they've been modified, if they've been embedded. You can sort them by name, kind, and status. And panel options, so I can see them bigger if I want to in here. On the bottom, we have show link info. This tells us a lot about the link. We'll come back to that in just 1 second. See here, you can also relink from the Creative Cloud libraries. You can relink in general. You can go to the link. You can update the link, and you can edit the original. So this drop-down menu here, this is information about each file. So it's showing me the location of where it is, what kind of file it is, what color space it is, how many pixels per inch. This one is 186. If I click on this one over here, this one is 1200 pixels per inch. This one's actually a huge file, really big TIFF as far as its pixels per inch and dimensions. This one here, 113. I was kind of looking for like a 72 dpi one, but it doesn't look like we have one. 122, 186, and this one is an EPS graphic, so it should have none, which it doesn't. The scale lets you know what size it's at. This actually says that it's at 100%, but that's a huge dimension, so that's weird. Maybe it's just because it's a bitmap. This one is at 38%, so it's actually been shrunk down pretty small on the page. Again, when it was created, modified if it has any transparent qualities to it. This one, this background is transparent on this one. It says, nope, it is not. So it might have, with GIFs, you can pick something to be transparent and not have it be one of the colors that's actually in there. GIFs are a little bit weird that way. So somebody could have made this GIF and picked purple as a transparent color, and it would not be showing in here. Kind of strange, right? So, um, so the last thing that we can do here that I wanted to show you was the editing part. So with this Photoshop document here, I can click on this and say Edit Original, and it will open it in Photoshop. I had this pre-opened, just so you know, but it will actually open the program for you and all that kind of stuff, but I wanted this to go quickly for the video, so it is preloaded when it linked over to this. You can see in here that it's got a lime and the palette and the woman with the cell phone as 3 different layers. So if I do something like this in here and I hide those 2 layers and then I come up here and say save, and then I go back to Illustrator, it says some files are missing or modified in the links panel. Would you like to update them now? So I could say no if I want to. And a little triangle will come up here, and that's where I have to do that update option here, which is update link on the bottom, or in the drop down menu update link. And when I do that, you will see that the lime and the palette actually disappear because they are now hidden on that other file. So really cool if you have a poster that you're working on for a movie or whatever, and you want to keep going back and editing the file in Photoshop, you can do that, and it will continue to update here in Illustrator. So that's a great reason to have your files linked. Again, you just need to remember to package them all together when you send them off somewhere. Otherwise, when it gets to its destination, unless you're just printing it yourself, if you're sending it off somewhere else as an AI file, you need to send that PSD with it, or all of your hard work would be for naught. All right. The next thing here is the clipping masks, and I think that we can do this fairly quickly here. We've already done clipping masks a little bit previously, so just to talk about them a little bit more. They're masks, so they show what part of a graphic is going to be displayed, and they hide other parts of it. Um, when you have an object, these are both images in here. They have a new ability recently in Creative Cloud, I think within the last year, to be able to crop an image. This is technically uh, just putting an image mask on it. It's just that it happens to be a square one. Just so you guys are aware of this. Say apply, and it has been cropped. Okay? If I go and look at that, nothing there. Can't tell that it's been cropped or anything. Can't get into it. So it cropped, right? So that's actually like where they're making it a permanent cut, even though it's not technically permanent. I don't know how to explain it because it's a JPEG. They can't do anything to it, but they are basically doing a clipping mask. It's just it's one that you cannot see. A regular clipping mask would be to take uh, something like this square here and draw over that, and then to select them both. And you can just go up here to Object, Clipping Mask. Where is it? There it is. Make. And whatever's on top will be the shape that the other one forms into. So looks just the same, except that you can see that it's still appearing behind it. And when I come into it, I actually can adjust what is showing in the clipping mask as well. All right. Clipping masks, the draw inside is technically a clipping mask. If you remember that when we did that, you can make clipping masks out of words. So I can come here and type the word rose and make it a lot bigger and maybe make it a lot thicker. Let's see here. Let's pick a thick Arial black is usually a good thick font. Where is that one? Arial black. It's actually too big now, so I'm going to squish it, stretch it, select them both. I'm just dragging to select both of them at the same time. Object, clipping mask, make, and now the rose is inside of my word. I can still get in there and modify the rose. It's a little bit more difficult because it wants to, when I double click, get into the font. So the type, so I can come in here and change letters if I want to, right? I can also just get into the clip group via my layers. If you can't click into something because of that, you're double clicking, it's just going onto the text. You can come in here to your clip group and find the object that way and select it. Now you can see it grabbed the flower, and so I could take the flower and move it around in there if I want to, stretch it out, whatever I want to do to try to make it fill that a little bit more. All right. I think I jumped around because I wasn't really paying attention here to the uh, page. Let me check and see if I missed anything. Um, Looks like that's about it for clipping masks. Again, they are in the layers panel, so if you want to come in and look at them, you can. If you want to change them, if you decide that you don't like it, you don't want this to be clipped anymore, you can just come up here, back up to Object, Clipping Mask, and say Release. And also here is Edit Contents, so it's another way to get in there to the butterfly to edit it besides going to your layers panel. Again, in Illustrator, usually a couple ways to do things. Um, but if you want to release this, you just say release, and then both of them come back. The box is still there, but it has been changed to just a path because that's what it was used for. So it has nothing on it. It is hidden. So if you want it back as a box, then you need to try to grab it again. There it is. Go in here and put some color on it or something to be able to see it again. You could also use the pen tool to select things. So I could come in here with my pen tool and just grab my butterfly if I wanted to. I can do curves. I can do straight lines. I could do whatever I want. I could be really specific or I could be general about it. I'm not doing a very good job here. I'm capturing a lot of the green in the background and skipping a lot of the butterfly. But I just wanted to let you just really quickly here so you guys could see that you can. And I did straight lines here, so I'll do some more straight lines. Did I close it? I closed it. There. Get my selection tool. Shift to click and hold both of them being selected. Object. Clipping mask. Make. And I made a little butterfly. And you can see that I did not do a good job. I could always go with my direct selection tool and come back in here and try to move those around. I can use my up and down arrows to nudge anchor points as well. So I can actually pull this back like this, try to nudge them around. If you find that an anchor point isn't good enough for what you're trying to do, and because I want this one here, but I can't get that one, then maybe I need another anchor point in there. So that's always a possibility. You can always come in and add an anchor point or subtract an anchor point as needed to try to make your design or whatever it is you're going for more precise. All right. This one here's way overshot. So this one needs a whole another anchor point in here as well. There's not even one there. So just come down, grab the tool, put another anchor point in, switch back to my direct selection tool, and move that over like so. Anyway, so I hope you guys get the idea of that with clipping masks. They can be really, really useful. And again, you can also use that, what do you call it? Let me jump back over here so I can grab something for you. The crop image over here, but it really does just crop the embedded image. And it says here on a linked file, cropping a linked file embeds a copy of the original. The original file at the link location is not affected. So it's telling me that it's going to embed this image and then crop it because it's kind of mathematically cutting it off. So it's going to say OK, and then crop it down to whatever you want. And again, that is a more permanent clipping mask thing. It can't really be undone once you go in there. There is a mask in here as well. Oops, undo. So I can select something and say mask. And again, it's just dropping a mask on it. So we need to, it's a box mask. So you can move it around, and it has an isolate for it and a release for it. Is that showing up on my other ones here? Let's see. Isolate mask, release mask, right? So they're all still over here. Properties panel is really trying to get you away from the menus, basically. So just be aware that that is the options are there for that. All right, that is all for this video, and we'll be moving on to effects after this. So I will see you in the next video.